In this recent tragedy, where we lost 8 of our devotees, we may never be able to understand why it happened like that. Why at their ages, they were all young, some very young. They were so pure, they were so loving, they were so devotional. On Sunday we will speak more elaborately on the subject. Why? We may not understand. It's achintya, it's inconceivable the way the material world works. But one thing we know 100% for sure. Because these devotees did have such open, loving hearts and devotion to Krishna, and so eager to serve the Vaishnavas, that absolutely Krishna was there to embrace them, embrace their immortal souls and lift them up. Lift them up on the path back home, back to Godhead, for sure, 100%. So in this sense, in the sorrow of separation, there's joy. And it's better to focus on what is for certain than focus on all our speculations. For certain, they're with Krishna. Absolutely. The all-attractive, all-beautiful, all-loving Supreme Personality of God, their Atmas are reunited with Krishna, for certain. Why things happen, when things happen, in this material world, very difficult to understand. We could learn lessons. We could learn lessons and make policies of where devotees shouldn't go, because we want devotees to stay. It's such a tragedy when devotees are taken away from us. It's a tragedy for the world. And it's every one of our duties to protect the sacredness of the bodies of the devotees. But when something inconceivable happens on the earthly level, we learn lessons. We may not understand the intimate reasons why, how, when, where, but we know for sure. Even if a devotee makes a mistake, Krishna will be there, because Krishna doesn't see our earthly mistakes. Krishna sees our heart of love and devotion, and He's going to be there for that. The earthly mistakes affect the earthly body, but the sincerity of our devotion is what attracts the all-attractive Krishna to give shelter to our soul. This is truth. Recently, a very learned sannyasi of a different line, a different sampradaya, he was asking me questions about Lord Chaitanya for about an hour and a half. It was a very deep subject, very incredible conversation. And he asked me the first question. He said, I have studied the 6 systems of philosophy from the Vedic literatures. I know Sanskrit. He's very learned. He said, I know what beta and beta means. Oneness and difference. He said, but I want to know from you, what is Lord Chaitanya's conception of achintya? He said, I know this Achintya Beda Beda Tattva is the foundation of his teaching. Beda Beda Tattva. I understand, I've studied. But why Achintya? Achintya means inconceivable. Advaita means everything's one. Ultimately, the absolute truth is one, and there is nothing separate from that oneness. Advaita means ultimately beyond the world of Maya, where there is forms and personalities, and there is all sorts of dualities and differentiations, is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. And in that Brahman there is the all-pervading oneness, where duality does not exist. That's conception of Advaita, Vashishta Advaita. Everybody agrees with the one. Everyone agrees that everything ultimately is one. But qualified monism, that yes, the absolute truth is one. And nothing could be different from that one. Nothing could be outside of that one. But within that one, there is infinite variegatedness. There is infinite personalities. There is infinite pastimes. So they're not saying it's not one. They're just explaining what's happening within that one. And Vishnu Swami Shuddhadvaita. Sripad Vallabhacharya. He was in that line, and he focused only on Vrindavan Leela. Yes, everything is one. Shuddhadvaita, pure oneness. Pure oneness is what the gopis love for Krishna. Within that one, that Advaita, within that Advaita, the pure understanding is the incredible, intimate, loving relationships. And there's Dvaita Dvaita. Dvaita, Madhvacharya. He said that in every way there is differentiation. Within that oneness, everything is different. Quite powerful presentation. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to synthesize all these different systems. Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and Lakshmi Devi. He came to synthesize all these philosophies, take the essence of all of them, and create Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Inconceivably, simultaneously one and different. So this one and difference, he understood, but why Achintya? What does that mean? So he explained everything that exists is Achintya. The absolute truth is inconceivable. We cannot fathom with our intelligence, we cannot fathom with our, by any means. Even the best computers could never work out the conclusion. What to speak of this little human brain? Everything we see is Achintya. It's like this little plastic box. If we actually study this plastic box, this plastic box is inconceivable. Yes? The sun. In order for this plastic box to exist, begins with the sun. The sun is inconceivable. How many of you have started a fire? Please raise your hand. How many of you in your life have started a fire? God, people in Bombay really are really dependent on all this artificial technology. Anyways, if you start a fire, you have to keep putting fuel in the fire, otherwise the fire goes out. Yes? Put some wood, and then it gets big, and then the fuel is consumed. You keep more and more and more wood, more and more coal, more and more oil, whatever you're using. Well, look at the sun. How much fire is coming out of the sun? And it's not like, if the demigods are all putting coal into it. Going to coal mines in Indraloka and having these flower airplanes delivering big flower airplanes of gas that say flammable liquids don't. It's incredible. For billions of years, the sun is just unlimitedly, from our perspective, it's unlimited fire. And it's the same size. Yes? It's not that it's like... It's the same size. How is that possible? Where is the fuel coming from? Scientists can speculate for the rest of Kali Yuga. But really, how is it happening? They're saying some gas and this and that, but it's burning unlimited gas, and where's the gas coming from? Why it's not getting smaller? Who's feeding it? It's fire. It's unbelievable. Same size. It's the same size as it was 10 billion years ago. Huh? Is that inconceivable? And it rises and sets same time. We could calculate. And we're orbiting. And then that sun shines on a little seed. This big. Tiny little seed. And that little seed becomes a tree. Now, isn't that inconceivable? How a tree comes out of a little seed? Isn't it inconceivable how every human being came out of a little seed? In Bombay, there's so much inconceivable. There's 15 million inconceivable people here. Yes? We just look at people, when you're on the train and you're crowded and you're crushed and you're being smashed and it's 100 degrees out and 40 degrees Celsius and it's hot and you're thinking all these people, it's too crowded. That's one way to look at it. Another is, look at all these, every one of these people is an incredible miracle. They were just, this person who's crushing me used to be a little seed in the mother. And out of that little seed, and I don't want to get into details, but the semen of a man is not it's pretty grotesque actually. It's just some slimy little thing goes into the mother, and there's a little seed in it. Unbelievable. And then it starts growing, and a heart. What, the man's semen? It's just a messy little thing. And from that little seed, a heart forms, and lungs, and kidneys, and eyes, and ears, and nose, and mouth, and tongue, and toes, and fingers. Unbelievable. And it comes out as a baby. The baby's totally bewildered. And then that baby has the capacity to learn how to talk and learn how to walk and learn how to run and learn how to build buildings and learn how to crush us in the train. And learn how to get angry and swear and everything like that at somebody else. We could just be annoyed by it, but we could think, what a miracle. What an inconceivable miracle. And when a mosquito comes and bites us, it's inconceivable. How that insect knows how to suck our blood. How that insect knows how to fly. How that insect was born. Everything is inconceivable. It's beyond human imagination. Because we see it all the time, we give our technical explanations of how it's happening, but actually it's really inconceivable. So the tree is growing, and the sun is shining on the tree, and the sun is putting fire into the wood. The element of fire through photosynthesis and whatever the scientific explanations is going into the tree, and it's growing. And what is the wood, when you go to burn it, it's because the energy that the sun has put into the wood. And when trees fall down and go underground after millions of years, they become coal, and the same energy of the fire is still there. And when the coal, after millions of years or whatever, it becomes oil. Yes? And that oil still has what the sun, millions of years ago, has put into it. That energy of fire. And then we take that oil and we make plastic. Yes? It's inconceivable. Unbelievable. This box, we could go till the end, till Kalki Avatar comes. We could be trying to understand the inconceivable nature of this plastic box. Everything's inconceivable. Because Krishna's achintya. Everything that is emanating from Krishna is achintya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. If we really try to understand it deeply. And that's just this material existence. What to speak of aparayami tastvanyam prakritim virime param. The jiva is beyond material existence. The jiva is transcendental. The jiva is part of Krishna. The jiva is Krishna's marginal energy, purely spiritual, but has inconceivable free will to either enter into material existence or enter into spiritual existence. And when the jiva decides to enter into material existence, dukkhalayam ashashvatam. No matter who we are or what we are, there's suffering. There's danger. But when the spirit soul, the jiva, even within material existence, takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, then the Atma, the body is used for the purpose of its spiritual devotional service. But the Atma then comes under the control of the spiritual energy. The Atma becomes liberated. And the body's an instrument, may still have to go through the nature of material existence, prakriti, but the Atma is beyond. And Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityasya. Just surrender to me. I will deliver you from this. That's delivering the Atma. And he can deliver the Atma even while we're living in this body. He has an incredible population of people living on that little island of Dwarka without traffic jams. It's not that the people of Dwarka are saying, let's go to Krishna's palace, but we should leave by 6 a.m. so we don't get caught in traffic. Because there's so many quadrillions of people living in Dwarka. It's not like that. They all have big yards and lawns, and everybody's living happily. How is it possible? Everything that exists is inchintya. So when Krishna comes to this world and wants to perform his pastimes, he makes it very extraordinarily achintya. very visibly inconceivable. And for us to believe it, of course, Krishna could do whatever he likes. Just like that cobbler. He was told by Narada Muni that Krishna was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. And the cobbler said, "Oh, how wonderful." And Narada Muni said, "Do you believe that?" He said, "Of course. Krishna can do anything. He can put a banyan tree in a seed. He could put an elephant through the eye of a needle. He could put 100 million people in this temple room, and everybody could be dancing without bumping into each other." Yes? So now you may think the Swami is just saying all kinds of stuff. But actually, Krishna could do anything. He could keep the temple room the same size. He could bring 10 million people in the temple, and he could double our size. And still we could have a beautiful kirtan. Achintya, inconceivable. Time and space and geographical, all this stuff is, Krishna's beyond it all. So how we are one and how we are different from Krishna is an inconceivable situation. How Brahman can be playing with Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, we are Brahman, and Krishna is Brahman, and there's no difference between us and Krishna. We're absolutely the same. A sun ray is absolutely the same as the sun. But how can there be, in that absolute oneness, there's eternal differentiation simply to facilitate love, ecstatic love. Ultimately, Krishna is just loving himself. Sri Radharani is Krishna. There's no difference. Radha is Krishna, Krishna is Radha, depending on whose side you're on. Some say that Krishna is an expansion of Radha, and others say that Radha is an expansion of Krishna. It's inconceivable. They're both right. That's pretty inconceivable. My name, Radhanath. Some Brajavasis say Radhanath means the Lord of Radha. And other Brajavasis say that means Radha is the Lord of Krishna. Who's right? Radhanath. Just like Jagannath means... so different, and that's inconceivable. Some are seeing Krishna as a friend, some are seeing Krishna as a lover, some are seeing Krishna as a son, some are seeing Krishna as a master. So when we see the events that happen in this material world, we should understand that even great Bhishma, Brahma, Shiva, they cannot understand how things happen in this world, especially in the lives of devotees. But one thing we know for sure, Krishna is always there. For those who love the devotees, Krishna is always there to love them. And we can speculate, where does a person go when they die? Maybe they went here, maybe they're taking births in a pious family of devotees, maybe they're in Vaikuntha, maybe they're in Goloka, maybe they're in a heavenly planet, doing pujas. We know for sure that for a person who even once sincerely chants Krishna's name, Krishna's going to be there for them. What to speak of devotees who have given their hearts and their lives to serve the Lord, to serve the Vaishnavas, to help Srila Prabhupada's mission. We can know that Krishna is going to fully be there, because Krishna is the supreme lover, and his love is inconceivable, and it never fails. He's within our hearts. And Krishna is going to do whatever is ultimately, absolutely the best in his love for his devotees when they depart from this world. That we know for sure. So let us always, in the tears of separation from our beloved devotees, it is absolutely proper to feel pain and to cry in separation for Vaishnavas. We can cultivate that, but it should not be tears of emptiness. The tears should be offerings of our love, of our gratitude for their eternal souls, knowing that that they are with Krishna. Thank you very much.